Yo, what's up, people? How y'all doing, man? What's cracking? Oh, man. We move. All right. We good? We live on the internets. Let me make sure, man. Volume's up. The volume is up. My name is Tim Black. By the way, my name is Tim Black. You tune into the Tim Black Show. We do this on Fridays, Wednesdays, and Mondays. Today was graduation for my oldest daughter. She's just leaving the 8th grade. So give it up for her. Naomi, what up, girl? Coffee. Pop gonna need the coffee. I wanted a beer, but I said I better not. I might end up being more blunt than I usually am. If you wouldn't want me to get more blunt, I'd be like earthquake up in here. You're just gonna give us another roof. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I hope that you're good to go. Hope my moderators are okay. That would be Elizabeth, Nene, and Raina Tears. Thank you very much for doing that, man. Give it up for my moderators, past and present. The moderators, past and present. I want to say what's up to the Tim Black Wolfpack. What's up, Wolfpack? How y'all doing? Man, I want to search. Someone's saying that the clip of Austin Metcalf is bogus. Let's see. Austin. I mean Jeff Metcalf. So Jeff Metcalf, watermelon felon. Is that AI? Damn. Is that AI? I'm asking you to Google, but I hope AI don't answer me. Oh. One day ago, Facebook, the judge has no criminal. Karmelo Anthony referred to as watermelon felon by Austin Metcalf. Watermelon felon, the phrase is widely viewed as invoking a racial stereotype according to TMZ. Emerged in the aftermath of Karmelo. Yeah, there's no indication that this is AI. What are they even talking about, fam? Yeah, it didn't appear to be AI to me. Yeah, I'm getting that. So, I mean, with AI, you got to check. I looked, but they're like, didn't you see this? No, I didn't see it. Stop making up stuff, man. I tell you, man, the YouTubes and the internets and the X's and the Facebook and the Instagram and all this shit, man. I don't even post on threads like that. But the rest of it, man, I don't know. So what y'all doing, man? How y'all good? I'm doing exceptionally well, fam. I mean, the country's going to hell, but hey, what you gonna do? What am I supposed to do about that except tell the truth about them? So what is everyone else up to? How y'all feeling? So we in the building tonight. We're gonna cover some stuff. I got my people tuning in. We're on X, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Let people know that you in the house. Don't be ashamed. I ain't gonna embarrass you too much. I called my mom tonight just before the show. I said, Mom, how you doing? I missed your call earlier. I just want to return your call. I don't want to wait till tomorrow to hear from me because I got a show tonight. She said, baby, you got a show tonight. Okay, baby. You don't cuss on that show no more, do you? Do you cuss on that show? I said, yeah, a little bit, but not a lot, a little bit. I said a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to my mama now. Not gonna lie. I told her keep it real. See, I don't know if I can listen if you cursing on there. She said my nephew be watching. He don't care if I curse. That's what I'm talking about. What up, B? Shout out to my nephews and nieces up there in Montgomery County, Maryland, doing their thing, fam. Yeah. Yeah. That is Montgomery County, right? Yeah. So, what up? What we gonna do? Is it Frederick? That's Frederick, right? How y'all doing? Everybody tuned in, man. Look, check this out. These people trying to drive me crazy, family. What we gonna do tonight? We gonna get right into it. We talked about Karmelo Anthony. The saga continues and the free ride is over. The free ride is the ride of the Democrats. That free ride is over, man. And one beautiful thing, I want y'all to understand, within a catastrophe like this, a calamity, tragedy, we got to get something out of it. And one of the things we're going to get out of it that I think is going to work in our favor, we're seeing who the snakes are. We are seeing who them snakes are, fam, and that's a priceless thing. That's priceless. That is a gift, and it is buried in the pain and the suffering, the trauma and the drama, right? It's buried deep down. Why do I feel like I'm doing that? Hakeem Jeffries. It's buried in the pain and the saga, the trauma and the drama. See, man, now it's a tick. See, I gotta watch these people, and you start picking up stuff. I don't want to pick that up. If I pick that up, I want to put it down. You understand what I'm saying? Damn. So here it is, man. Real talk. So what I'm saying is basically this. Within this tragic moment, we got everybody turning on black people, right? They're calling us everything. They're throwing everything at us. They have been badgering. Listen, I want Black America to know I'm with you. And I want you to know, I want you to pay attention to what's happening. Because right now, everybody's being exposed around you, but you got to pay attention to see it. This only works if your eyes open. You're only going to get something out of this moment except upset. Because you're going to get upset. You're going to feel insulted. You might be a little down, not depressed. You might be a little down. You might feel a little attacked. You might get angry. But if you want to get something out of it that you can use, right? You got to be paying attention. Tonight's episode is to make you pay attention. I want you to realize that everything that's been put in front of us, there is a reason for it. Don't think for a second there ain't a reason in back of this. Don't think it's not built on a plan. Too much has happened. Too much is going on for it not to be. Somebody is benefiting from this. Nothing happens just cause. Nothing happens just because of willy-nilly. It just happened. Everything just lined up that way. Whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. No. You grown, I'm grown. We grown-ass people. There's too much money at play. We are a superpower. Things don't happen within a superpower that the superpower don't want to happen. Huh? That makes sense? We got to stop operating under this illusion that all these bad things just happen. I don't believe that's true. I believe there's something to this. And we got to be able to decipher the cipher. Right? We're going to get into that tonight, man. No free rides. It exposes the snakes in the grass. It exposes the backstabbers. It's exposing, look, the last couple of weeks, you couldn't get a more clear view of your Democratic Party and your Republican Party. Has anybody in the Democratic or Republican parties said anything positive or useful to Black Americans about Rick Chow? Has anybody in the Democratic Party or Republican Party, and if so, those are one-offs, has there been a groundswell of support for Black America in the last couple of weeks in the aftermath of Rick Chow winning that lawsuit, going away after killing that 14-year-old in the back, shooting him in the back, and then somebody said, well, he said, my son said he saw a gun, so I had to protect my son. So you shot him in the back. That's how you protect your son, by shooting a 14-year-old in the back after chasing him about more than a football field. Almost a football field and a half is how long they chased this young man. Then they shot him in the back, and they walked. Where was everybody? I know AOC had to come out and say something. Remember that time they had the kids in cages under Obama? Was that Obama? I can't remember, because I know Obama had them. Nobody said shit. And then Trump had some leftover cages from Obama, and they was like, Trump's the evil one. No, these cages is Obama's cages. But I'm just saying, she like to speak up for the kids. So this was a 14-year-old black kid shot in the back by a store owner on his fourth shooting. I mean, I know she's busy, like saving the whales and watching the game, watching the Knicks up in Madison Square Garden, and probably going to a gala event wearing dresses with sayings on them. But I'm just saying, fam, I'm just saying. She didn't say nothing about this 14-year-old black baby. Nothing said about the 14-year-old black baby. Hakeem Jeffries didn't come out with the hands. Jim Clyburn didn't offer to fry some fish in memory of the 14-year-old baby that was shot in the back. You mean nothing? You mean radio silence? No Chuck Schumer, no Nancy? Okay, what about the Republicans? Did some Republicans offer us an olive branch? Byron Donalds pop his head up, maybe, I don't know. I mean, you got to help me with these Republicans. Tim Scott? No, of course not. He's black. He just happens to be black. He's not a black man. He just happens to be black. These, intentional. Forget it. Any white Republicans? Lindsey Graham? I don't know. Ted Cruz? Marco Rubio? I don't know. Anybody? I know Trump didn't say shit. Yeah, he didn't say nothing. 14-year-old, so I'm just saying, black America. If you are paying attention, you're looking at this, you're looking at it, you're seeing it, right? 14-year-old, young, that's the same age Tamir Rice was. Tamir Rice had a toy gun at a park. Obviously, he hadn't shot anybody because it didn't have bullets. It was a toy. Somebody said they saw him with a gun, so they blew his head off. Cyrus Carmack Belton, he had a real gun, but he didn't pull it out. No one saw him pull it out, except for the son, who says they saw him pull it out, but we don't know, because none of the eyewitnesses that saw a child shoot Cyrus saw the gun. So, I don't know, just seeing parallels here. In both times, they killed our babies and they just walked away. So we're seeing this happen right in real time. Are we paying attention? Are we seeing what we're seeing? Because one of my biggest uphill battles, right, is to get people that are locked into these political parties to recognize that they ain't about business for us. They're not business for anybody. But we tend to believe that the Democrats really are. It's a lot of white people voting Republican. A lot of them only voted Republican because they believed that Trump was going to come up in the system. They probably wouldn't even have voted. People don't tell you that. They want to gas you up. They want to gaslight your ass. They want somebody coming in, destroy and throw a grenade in the Republican Party, and that's what Trump did. And then for the most part, they kind of go business as usual after he got in. But that wasn't what he told him he was going to do. Sort of like Obama said he was going to do shit, then he came in and kind of just did the same old stuff. He kind of did the same thing Reagan did. Anyway, so what I'm saying is the free ride should be over, but I'm hoping it's over, but I don't know. I can't say definitively that it will be over because part of my uphill battle was getting black folks to see, hey, both these parties suck. And I can keep saying it. I keep saying it and saying, I've been saying it for a decade. I've been saying this for a decade. You can AI me. Go in your AI. Everybody, you on a device. Whatever, use your large language model of choice. Type in Tim Black. Ask, what are Tim Black's political views? Read back what it tells you. Yeah, I may not be Don Lemon status, but I am AI status. I don't care what AI you use. It's going to know who I am. It's going to tell you about me. It's going to tell you I'm not a Republican nor a Democrat. It's going to tell you that, I have some strong political views and I've been very critical, depending on how deep in depth they go. But it's not going to tell you I'm a Trump supporter. That's just what my haters tell you. Because I guess they don't know how to use AI or Google or my catalog of over 5,000 videos where I criticize everybody. So for 10 years, and I've been doing this longer than 10 years. I've been doing this about 14 years, 15 years, but the first 4 years, I wasn't really into politics like that. I talk about local issues that impacted my community. I wasn't really into politics until my viewers got me into it. So my uphill battle is making people understand that the system is shit. We got to rebuild this system. I believe that people can help get that done. We can do it. But we got to see the urgency in doing it. And me saying it ain't enough. You got to see it. So in the beginning, I talked about the gift of this. There's got to be something good got to come out of this catastrophe. When you're in a community and a natural disaster hits, it's a horrific thing. Loss of property, loss of life. But one of the good things that can come out of it is the community bands together. The people that didn't talk that much become like family in their moment of crisis. If they're lucky, they can bottle a little bit of that up and keep that relationship going because they're going to need each other to get through it. And they're going to maybe end up at a place as they're trying to rebuild where they become real neighbors, protectors, friends, support system, extended family. That can happen. And it happens through adversity. Tough times create that. Tragedy creates that. That's what I'm saying, fam. What I'm saying. I ain't no news reporter. I mess around, take you out of church up in here without a Bible. What I'm saying is this opportunity that's being presented in front of you that these 2 black babies died for. Well, that's Therese. That's it, Therese. That's Tamir Rice. Cyrus. Karmelo Anthony's alive. That's a beautiful thing, right? What I'm saying is, if we pay attention, we see what's being exposed. And I don't have the magical words to tell you the way they are showing you. They are showing you in a way that I can never tell you. I told you a 14-year-old boy lost his life over what they thought was water. They tell you it's because of a gun. I don't believe them. Like I didn't believe them when they said Tamir Rice was a threat with his gun. All right? So what I'm saying is, are we going to open up people's minds with this? We got this opportunity, right? We have this opportunity that came in the blood of a 14-year-old. We're going to get something out of that that's beneficial for our people, or we going to let it pass by? And we're going to let it be swept under the rug with this back and forth with this crazy-ass cracker, Jeff Metcalf. Now, I'm going to give him his coverage, but he a man, he's a wounded animal. And he reaching out trying to scratch everybody. He's trying to hurt people because he hurting inside. And maybe he don't have enough alcohol to drench it, to drown his sorrows. So he got to hurt people on the outside of him. He got to hurt people outside of him. So he reached for the whole black community. Whole black community didn't hurt him. Karmelo Anthony and his son got into it. Or should I say, he got into it with Karmelo Anthony, because Karmelo Anthony did not start that. I told y'all before in my video, I said, hey, just because they say Karmelo guilty don't mean he is. I don't believe that. That's their court system. There ain't never been justice for us unless we had a whole lot of money. If OJ would have been broke, he'd have just been that broke-ass dude with the weird name who went to jail for 50 years. So we need to get something out of this, fam. Tonight we're going to talk about the manipulation of the media and how it plays tricks. And this is a prime example. And it don't get no plainer than this, man. This is obvious. Look what they doing. And look what it exposes. No AOC, no Ayanna Pressley. Who talking about this? No Summer Lee. Where they at? The word must have came down on high. Shut your ass up on this Rick Child shit. Shut your ass up on the Rick Child. Why else would they be so quiet? I haven't even heard Mark Lamont. Remember Mark Lamont Hill talking about people in Palestine? We got a 14-year-old shot to death right here, South Carolina. Was this a Joe Budden podcast? That's what he there for. I'm not saying it's on him, but I'm saying he be talking about the other inequities. We need to look at this. We need to look at it for what it is. And I'm just saying, we're going to talk about old Jeff Metcalf off his medication. We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about what's going on. We're going to get into all that. But don't none of that make any sense. None of that works. None of that's going to be helpful if we ain't paying attention. Because it ain't about what I say. It's about what you say. It's not about what I think. It's about what you think. Because you the one I'm trying to get the information to. But you got to make the call at the end. It's on us. It's on you. So hit the like button if this content makes sense to you. If it does, subscribe for free. Check me out next time. But we're going to dig into them tonight. We ain't going to play. It's Friday. And anybody that's here tonight on this show, maybe you in, it was raining. Something crazy here, man. I'm over here in Charles County, Maryland, man. It was raining. It was wild. You know what I'm saying? It just been hot and raining. Hope the power don't go out. I don't know what's going to happen. Our grid is crazy. Westmore, man. I just blame Westmore. Where y'all at? I see y'all, YouTube. I see y'all. I see y'all. My people in the building tonight. Let's get it cracking, y'all. Let's do this. While we still young, let me get into my first video response, video reaction. We good.
Go from the context to the specifics of the legalities. Okay, what do we know about self-defense here, how to stand your ground, factor in, and what are the rules with the jury and what is likely and unlikely here on appeal? Okay, defense attorney, Mark Garagos, former felony prosecutor, Eric Faddis. Good to have you both, gentlemen. Thank you. First, Mark, did I basically lay it out right for people's understanding at home? You don't have a right to jury by people of your race, but people of your race can't be excluded on that basis from a jury either. What do you make of what is known in the law as a Batson challenge here and why it was rejected by the judge and what it could mean on appeal?
Well, okay, you asked, the first question was, did you get it right? Don't get upset, but no, you didn't get it right. When the way you framed it, first of all, just in terms of what the argument was, one of the big battles was he going to get a voluntary manslaughter or a manslaughter instruction? They did get a manslaughter instruction. I think that just watching this from afar, and one of the problems with this case is that it was being reported and being filtered by whoever's team you were rooting for and not being able to see it, is that people didn't understand. A complete self-defense was it reasonable? The middle ground is if it was an unreasonable use of force, but to some degree in reaction to a use of force, that would have put you into manslaughter territory. The reason that's important, Chris, is because to the challenges, the peremptory challenges that were used by the prosecution, this case was over in jury selection, as most cases are. When you don't have any black jurors, and mind you, you had people of color but no black jurors in this jury, that was over. This kid was not going to get a fair trial.
Bam! That's it. That is it. We've been living in America for a long time. I know I have. My whole life. That's a long time for me. And it's always been this way. It's an old saying. There's a couple of sayings I know about law. When I was a younger man, I was deciding what I wanted to do. When I realized journalism didn't pay enough for me to take care of my family, I went to paralegal school. There were two things in paralegal school, two sayings that I remember being said then, because we do mock trials in my paralegal school where I got my certification. One of them was, and I heard this repeated many times, let me try to get it. A prosecutor could get a ham sandwich indicted. Any prosecutor worth his weight could get a ham sandwich indicted. And what that means is, if the prosecution wants to get you indicted, they can. Because they don't got to present no real evidence. There is no defense. They just say, they paint a scenario of what they say the case that they're going to present. They say what they think their evidence will be. They say what they think your motive is and what they say they will prove. And the jury pretty much goes, well, damn, that's what it is? All right, then. Indictment. So the running thing is this: if you can't get an indictment, whenever a prosecutor can't get an indictment, it's because they did not want an indictment. Are we listening? Are we getting this? When a prosecutor cannot get an indictment, anytime these motherfuckers tell you they couldn't get an indictment, sorry, Mom. Anytime these men and women tell you they can't get an indictment, that's some bullshit. They could get an indictment if they wanted one. Obviously, they're playing bullshit games. Sorry, Mom. The second thing is this: cases are not won in closing arguments. Mofo, this is not Perry Mason. This is not LA law. This is not the Lincoln lawyer. Had to get into something something in the last 5 years. This ain't the Lincoln lawyer. What I'm saying is, because you know they in these shows, right? They make it seem like, oh, everything was so tight. And then Matthew McConaughey gave a speech like in The Time to Kill, and that turned everything. Or I don't know, it was No Country for Old Men, or You Can't Handle the Truth. I am the truth. You can't handle it. You know, you waiting for a Jack Nicholson moment. A few get men, that's it. You thinking that's what wins cases. That's bullshit. That's not reality. In reality, cases are not won in the closing arguments. Cases are won in the jury selection. This case was over when they selected that jury. I've been online talking about this, and I have people that are either ignorant but mean well, and I have bad actors who know better but lie. The case was decided with the jury when they put no black people on that jury. Family, America is more racist than you know. America is a lot more racist than you give it credit for. America is a lot more racist than you give it credit for. Good white people, if you watch it, America is a lot more racist than you give it credit for. Black people, America is a lot more racist than you give it credit for. you underestimate at least 50% of the racism, even if you're like, man, I see racism. No, it's the racism you don't see. Family. They made up this rule, the Batson Challenge, to combat case after case after case after case where they would cook their jury and give black men, particularly all white juries, with any type of bogus thing. Now, this man's gonna break this down, but it's only gonna matter if you share the shit out of this content. It's only gonna matter if you tell 5 friends about this show. It's only gonna matter if you listen and you don't pay attention to the conservatives that are gaslighting you, who are lying to you, and those others who are misinformed but mean well. He's telling you the God's honest truth. When they got rid of the black people, it was a wrap. America is that racist. When it's a black defendant. Not in Rick Child's case. Rick Child's case was different. You know why it was different? Rick Child was on trial. Black man wasn't on trial. And they had a black lawyer convince a couple black jurors, we don't know if they were black American, they looked black, that his son's life was in danger. They had a black man get up there and say, this man's life is in danger, his son was in danger, what could he do? And blah, 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 blah. And gave them permission to say, forget that little boy, fuck that little boy. That little boy is a scourge. He's part of the scourge on our nation that's making it hard for good people like Child to run their businesses. And the jury never knew that Mr. Child had shot 3 other people. Pow, 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 pow. They didn't even know that every couple years Child would shoot at motherfuckers without even calling the cops. He shot in the car over a beer. He shot in a car driving away. Another thing, he shot a man in the leg for $6. They didn't get to know that. Then he shot at somebody else. He shot at 3 different people on 3 different occasions. This time he shot a young boy running away in the back and killed him. And the jury did not get to know. They kept it out. No one knew this wasn't his first time shooting at somebody. Out of fear, protect his son. They didn't know this is what he always do, shoot at people. He didn't shoot at them other people from fear. He shot at them because he was mad about his shit in his store. Let's go back to my man talking because I'm going too long, but I cannot impress upon you enough the gravity of what he's about to say. And when I say it, I'm black, so even some black people don't want to trust what I'm saying. It is what it is. I've been black a long time. I got a white boy sitting there. Black guy comes in. He don't know. He got a problem with his PC. I'm a contractor at the time. The white guy that's sitting there, he's a new hire. He's a friend of an uncle. Old uncle, man, a higher up in the company. So he gave the guy a job. Black guy comes in with his laptop. I don't know, it's not booting up. I need your help. He goes to the white guy in front of me. Looks at me, goes to the white guy. I'm cool with it because I got other shit to do. And after he explains everything, the white guy looks at me, comes over to me and says, Tim, what do I do? Please help me, Tim. And the brother just looks at the floor. So I'm used to even black people doing this to me. Sometimes it works because I got other things to do, like drink my coffee, surf the internet. But it's going to help because this white man's about to say exactly what I'm saying. Maybe then people will listen. Let's roll. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't the only one that been through that. You got somebody white working with you, don't know shit. They just think they know more. Then they ask the white person because they think black people don't know shit, and then that person they ask got to come ask you because they don't know shit. Everybody look crazy for a couple seconds. Let's keep it moving, y'all. All right.
Of color, but no black jurors in this jury. That was over. This kid was not going to get a fair trial. One of the things, I've been doing this for 43 years. Jury selection determines everything in a criminal case, number one. Number two, the reason the jury selection informs every case in every community, in every courtroom, is because you are the product of your upbringing by the way you view things. And you're never going to convince, I don't care what kind of an orator you are, how persuasive you are, you're not going to be able to impart your lived experience onto 12 people and somehow get them to understand a 17-year-old black kid who's sitting there with two people who are hulking over him and who shoved first and what degree of force he's supposed to use. A black juror may have understood that in a way that a white juror won't. I know that's incendiary. I know that drives some people insane. But I invite any person, I invite anybody who's ever watched a criminal courtroom work to take a look and see what happens. And race informs everything.
Jurors were selected. None of those jurors happened to be of the same race.
So they're going to take it up on appeal, obviously, and we'll follow that part. Mark, you can put a button on it, but I also want to move on to what the jury did find because they rejected manslaughter. But go ahead.
Right, and the button is this. Why is a prosecutor, any prosecutor can come up with an excuse or a pretext to excuse any juror. You can say that their educational background. You can say they've got a first cousin twice removed who was arrested for something. You can always come up with that. Why does a prosecutor, why are they entitled to a peremptory challenge at all? If they've got the burden of proof, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. Why are they bouncing off black jurors when you know in the community that's just going to inflame the situation?
So that's going to be the basis of appeal. Let's move on to what the jury found, because you're right. They had the manslaughter.
No, I've been saying this as well. Why they do it? They knew it was going to be. They knew it was going to be backlash. They knew people like me that were paying attention were going to call it out. I may not have known about the Batson challenge beforehand, but I did my research and found out about it and realized that's what they did. These preemptory challenges, preemptive challenges, are not just the standard challenges, right? These are challenges with cause, and the cause is, oh, well, we'll make up something. Instead, what we have is, and this is all people, we got people from all walks of life repeating the same line about one juror. You realize there were 600 people in this juror pool? You realize that? And there was one juror, one black man that said, hey, I don't feel good about putting a brother in jail. I don't feel good about locking a brother up. One guy said that. That's not all the black jurors. That's one black man. There were white women that said the same thing. There were white men that said the same thing. But people are easily manipulated because when they hear that a black man said that, they imagine in their mind that all black, because we know we all get credit for what everybody does when it's bad. It's weird how it works in America. When one person does something that people don't agree with, we all get blamed for that. We all get to wear it. But when someone does good, we don't all get it. We don't all get to share in the good, just the bad. A lot of people been repeating that. A lot of people been repeating that fallacy, that lie, as if the reason why there were no black jurors is because they all said they couldn't be unbiased. And I see dummies running with it. And some people that are just liars running with it all over the internet, repeating bullshit. Repeating bullshit. There were white women that said, you seem like a good kid. I can't fit 99 years. I don't feel good about it. I can't do it. There were white men that said the same thing. Why is no one mentioning that? They only mentioned the one black guy. who was honest and said, I don't feel good about this. Maybe he had a job. He didn't want to miss his job. Maybe there's a lot of reasons why people try to get out of jury duty. You know what I'm saying? But be that as it may, that was the camel. That was it. The jury was the ticket. Let's keep going. Chris is funny, isn't he?
Order option, they didn't choose it. On these facts, do you find that to be a shocks to conscience verdict?
No, I don't, actually. I think that on these facts with this jury, the murder conviction was preordained, frankly. I think it was a victory for the defense to get the manslaughter, but if you had had some black jurors on that jury, I would have prognosticated at that point that they may have landed as a compromise verdict at a manslaughter. There is a pretty compelling argument, but it's a much tougher argument because he did not get on the stand to testify, and that's a whole different decision by the defense. But the fact remains that given a jury that had no blacks on it with a black 17-year-old kid, and that was the end of that. I mean, I'm old enough to remember the Zimmerman case. You covered it. When that jury was selected in Florida and there were no blacks on that jury, I actually said that night on CNN that Mark O'Mara, the lead defense lawyer, would have to trip, fall, and hit his head to lose that case. And sure enough, Zimmerman was acquitted. So for anybody who says race doesn't inform these things, it's naive and it's beside the point.
Yeah, I wanna just say, man. I mean, for him to bring up Zimmerman, that's perfect. For him to bring up Zimmerman, no black jurors on the Zimmerman trial. That's part of the reason why Zimmerman walked, I believe. I think that's it. And a dead man tells no tales. He could just say, I was scared for my life. What else could I do? He wounded me, hit my head on the ground. I had to kill him. I had to. Had to save him. It was me or him. Cry a little bit. Black men are already demonized. Even black boys are demonized. They're seen as grown-ass men when they're not. They said Tamir Rice was a grown. They thought Tamir Rice was a grown man. He was 14. See, we got black people falling for it, and it's really bothering me because we got black men that are apparently, they appear to be wise in other ways. They seem to be learned. They seem to be intelligent, right? They think that a black juror would see favoritism. You don't understand racism at all. No, fool, they see a human being. We're all supposed to see human beings. There was nothing about Karmelo Anthony in his background that make you think he is this quote-unquote YN. There was not a damn thing in his background to make you believe that. Honors roll student, football team, track and field team. He even literally saved a life. He's literally been in the newspaper for risking his life saving other kids' lives who were drowning in a pool or some shit. Pool or lake, I think it was a lake. Literally did that just a couple years ago. No record at all. He does not, there's no gang tattoos, nothing. Posed with a couple guns online, that's what kids do, depending on where you live at. That's all they got. Shit, they got pictures of Hunter and Austin with guns. It's different when black kids do it, don't it? Isn't it, though? Different when they do it. But no, he didn't rob any liquor stores, rob any people. Shooting guns at people, nothing. So you get it wrong when you say, I got these intelligent people, and I know, and it's look, and I'm gonna tell you, man, I saw a couple black sisters on TikTok. I mean, it's very disappointing, fam. Very disappointing. I don't know who wounded you, what they did, and why they did it. I don't know. But that ain't got nothing to do with Karmelo Anthony. It's got nothing to do with my son or my daughters. That's your own shit. Go to a therapist. Please, you look crazy. Go to a therapist. Seek help. Get your brain looked at. Get some time. Have somebody talk softly to you with dim lights, with their music playing, and rub you on your forehead and tell you it's gonna be okay and that you matter and you is special. Cause somebody need to do something for you, cause you look crazy. I know you think you standing on business, you look crazy. It's obvious you are torn up inside. Nah, they're not showing favoritism. It looks like favoritism, when other black people would try to help other black people who are about to get whipped by Massa or Massa's henchmen. That wasn't bias, that was humanity. That was seeing them as a human. And to the white people, they were not human, so it appeared to be a betrayal of them for you to see black people as a human being. And it's the system that we have in this country. They would see white people that saw black people as humans as a betrayal too. They tar and feather white people that cared about black people. They would tar and feather other white people for giving a damn about black people. No, it's not bias. It's the same. And see, the difference is when a white kid does something, they still see him as a human being. So the first part of the defense opening statement, they did their best to humanize Karmelo Anthony. And they say that he did a pretty good job of doing that. The lawyers did a pretty good job of doing that. Obviously, they didn't, because they saw a person that never committed any crimes before as an intentional murderer. An intentional murderer. Now, I'm telling you all of this, and now I see now that the coast is clear and this young black man has been sentenced to 35 years. Now I saw a couple Democrats coming out talking now. That's convenient. Good time for them. I've been covering this case since 2025 when it took place. I guess it's nice for y'all to get around to talking about it. So we got to see things for what they are. And just know that there's media manipulation and everything. They got you believing that jury is all biased, biased, black bad. No, without black people on your jury, think about all the cases that you know about where a person who did something to a black man, maybe a woman too, if they did not have a black person in the jury, the possibility of them getting that verdict at all, slim to none. Slim to none. Statistics show that when a black man comes in with the same charges as a white guy with similar backgrounds, black guy gets more time. Black man gets harsher sentences. That's the jury. That's the jury, fam. These are statistics that are readily available for anyone to look up. They tell you black people get biased favoritism. That's bullshit. That's a lie. Stop believing lies. That's the furthest thing from the truth. You've been black your whole life. When have you ever gotten preferential treatment, dum-dum? When that ever happened? You think redlining was preferential treatment? They drew a line around our neighborhoods and said, don't lend money to people inside this circle. Then the Asians came and they said, lend money to them. And they could set up shop in this circle, but black people know. And our homes, when we were in them, they weren't worth shit. Once they gentrify and move us out, all of a sudden the property's worth a lot of money. Family, when has it ever been a benefit to be black in America? Cut the cap. No. Stop buying into the narrative. So we're going to keep it moving, man. The media manipulation got you thinking that the black jurors are biased. No, it's not bias. It's seeing black people like white people see white people. That's the bias. And it looks like bias to people that see you as an animal, to people that see you as a gangster, to people that see you as a thug. And we know when they say, you ever hear white people call white people thugs? You never hear him say it. This is another word for black. They got you, they went around saying victimization. That's victim mentality. What? It's called numbers. These are numbers. These are the stats. Go look it up when you get time. Let's keep going, fam. Let's keep going. What you gonna say? What you gonna say? What you gonna say? Out.
Next up with Tim Black.
Violence isn't the answer. And under no circumstances, outside of true, life-threatening self-defense, should it be justified.
Violence is not the answer, says Stephen A. Smith in remarks to the Karmelo Anthony story. He's saying that Karmelo's violence is not the answer. He didn't say that Austin's violence wasn't justified. See, I believe that if Austin never made threats against Karmelo, didn't attempt to hurt Karmelo, then we don't have a case. Everybody goes home. Everybody enjoys their life. They enjoy spring break or whatever they do. They do the summer. They do whatever they do. Stephen A. Smith starts with Karmelo, as if Karmelo instigated this, as if Karmelo wasn't already up under the tent before Austin showed up. He doesn't know what he does know. You know what? I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Stephen A. Smith doesn't know. I believe Stephen A. Smith knows exactly what he's doing. Do not give him a pass when he don't know what he's talking about. He don't have all the facts. This mofo don't want the facts. This ninja doesn't want the facts. He knows the facts. He doesn't want to be on the side of the facts.
Karmelo Anthony's life was not in jeopardy.
Anytime somebody threatens to hurt you, your life's in jeopardy. You threaten somebody, you're putting their life in jeopardy. I'm sorry, sir. That's how it works. That's how it works. If you threaten to do something to me, is that a threat? You act on the threat, you move on the threat, that's a threat. You don't get to decide how I respond to your threat. You make a move to grab me, I don't have to wait for you to grab me. I don't get to wait to see if you're going to punch me right where I only get a black eye like Judge Joe Brown said. What if you hit my nose bone and it goes into my brain and kills me instantly? Oh, I guess I should have acted earlier. We don't get to go back in time and do it all over again because we underestimated how the person was going to fall when they got hit. They were on sealed bleachers. And there are not just one, it was three other guys there. Stephen A. mentions none of that. Don't tell me he didn't know there were more people there. If he doesn't know there were more people there, if he doesn't know that, then he shouldn't even be talking. He don't get a pass for being wrong. Stephen A. is doing what Stephen A. does. Be a scumbag. And side with them people. Stephen A. said a long time ago, man, he ain't gonna do nothing to jeopardize his money. Why don't people believe him? I think most of Black America believes him. We believe somebody when they say, hey, ain't gonna mess up my money. Well, this would be messing up his money. Don't y'all think so? I mean, he's on that side of the aisle at this point. Democrats don't want that dude back. Listen to him. Here, watch this.
There were people around. Not a punch was thrown, according to reports.
Reports? No, reporting to witnesses. There was people getting grabbed up. I heard that he had scratches on his neck. They grabbed him up. He tried to get away. They pulled his hoodie. They wouldn't let him leave. I remember when he decided to leave, they wouldn't let him leave. That's what I read. I wonder why Steve hasn't read that. In the witnesses' testimony, at the time of the incident, is vastly different than what they told him last week at the trial. See, he's talking about what they said at the trial. He's not saying that what was in the police reports. And like I said, you don't have to wait around to find out if his punches hurt. But let's keep going. Steve is going to do something special here.
It was a shove precipitated by Karmelo Anthony saying, touch me and watch what happens.
Touch me and watch what happens. In response to what, Stephen A? What was that? What does that even sound like? So now Stephen A's an idiot. I mean, Trump recently called him an idiot. All that ass kissing and then Trump threw him under the bus. I'm just saying, it's just hilarious to me. Okay, called him low IQ. All that water carrying, and then he called you the same thing he called Jasmine Crockett. Yo, Stephen A. Smith just said that Karmelo Anthony said, touch me and see what happens. And then he touched him, right? Okay. He shoved him away? That's not the testimony. That's not the ballistics. He grabbed him. Let's keep going.
And then he told the coach that ran up to him and asked him what happened. He said he touched me, so I stabbed him.
He put his hands on me. He also said he was in fear. He also used the word fear. You know, black people can be afraid. We can have fear. He said he was in fear. He was fearful. That's what he said. There is video footage now of Karmelo running away. They chased him. He was in fear. Wow, Stephen A. left that part out, guys. Guess what?
I'd love for there to be a way around it. Where Austin Metcalf wasn't dead. Where Karmelo Anthony wasn't charged with first-degree murder.
You wish there was a way around what? Oh, you wish you could go back in time and have Austin keep his goddamn hands to himself? Oh, okay. No, we can't do that. None of us have the ability to change time. Yeah, I wish it never happened, but I wish the starter, the initiator, not the young black boy that was coming out of the rain, not him. He didn't initiate anything. He had permission to sit in the tent for people that were under the tent before Austin arrived at the tent. Then when Austin came to the tent and told him to get out, hey, I'm already here, I'm chilling. Mind your business, yo. We good. All this New York, all of a sudden, all the New Yorkers out of the New Yorker. Isn't it funny? That's what money do for you.
Murder, where he didn't have a knife at a track meet.
Yeah, it wasn't illegal to have it. It wasn't illegal to have it, Steve.
But that's not what happened. And he's paid with it for all intent and purposes, with the next 35 years of his life being spent behind bars, although he is eligible for parole after serving half of that sentence.
Look at Stephen A. trying to act all dramatic like he give a fuck. Listen to this guy. I wish it could win another way. Yeah, but you telling that white boy to keep his goddamn hands to himself? That'd be a good way to start it off, saying, hey, I wish it would go another way. Hey, how about white people learning to keep their hands to themselves? Why did you have to put your hands on this young man? Maybe this young man's reaction to you putting your hands on him is on you.
Which would be 17 and a half years.
Full of shit.
Yeah, obviously, it's very obvious that Stephen A. Smith is full of shit. He is very much full of it, all of it. An enema will not fix this. He needs some actual car wash in his lower intestine. He's caked up. He believes it's all Karmelo's fault. That Austin and everybody on the team that was there had no control over the situation. I'm telling you, they had all the control over the situation. Oh no, you mean to tell me the witnesses who were all teammates of Austin's said that Karmelo was the bad guy? Yeah, I mean, I think they probably would. I mean, if their teammate got stabbed, when it's time to go to trial, I think people talked. They decided, let's get him. I mean, they didn't break it up when it was happening. They didn't calm Austin down. He was the one upset. They didn't calm Austin down when they were all in the tent. Neither did his brother. Nobody did shit. Nobody went and got a teacher and said, get this guy out of here before we beat his ass. Well, we're just gonna beat his ass. Maybe he didn't feel like getting his ass kicked that day. You ever feel like not getting your ass kicked, Stephen A? It ever crossed your mind? What if 4 or 5 guys decide they won't kick your ass and you happen to have something on you? What you gonna do, Stephen A? Decide if they gonna kill you first? Let them try to kill you first? What you gonna do? I'm just saying, everybody's talking like they know what they're gonna do. But when young people, 17 years old, on both sides, both of these are kids, maybe their decision making isn't as fluid as yours would be, because we all know you would choose differently. Somebody grab you up, about to just threaten you, talking about they're gonna hurt you. Yeah, I'm sure you would not protect yourself with what you had. You try to knuckle up with all 4 of them, Stephen A. We know how you get down. You throw them things. We saw you punching that heavy bag that time. Stephen A. is full of shit, and I could prove it. I could prove it. You know I could prove it? Because I went through his archives. Listen how Stephen A. talks about Daniel Penny after Daniel Penny killed the man on the subway train. I mean, because you would think he would say, hey, because, you know, consistency would say he would be against Daniel Penny taking a life, right? I mean, that is what we're talking about, right? Let's see what Stephen A. came up. He about to make me take back my BS detector.
I would tell you, as an ex-Marine, why would you feel the need to continue to put that strong of a chokehold on him when you had assistance?
Yeah.
That's a legitimate question.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not knocking anybody for saying that he should have been indicted. I would tell you, as an ex-Marine, that somebody that went on the train and was minding his own business up to that point, you're going to have a jury of his peers potentially looking at him as a hero because of all the stuff that has been thrown over the news wires and the airwaves about violence in our subways, violence on our streets, and how somebody like a Daniel Penny is considered a good Samaritan. That's why they brought up the Bernard Getz comparison. So when you have something like that going on, the reason why I say black people, we need to be careful is because we need to be consistent in our venom.
Yeah, we need to be consistent, black people. You need a strong talking to. Black people, you need a strong talking to. Because you up here upset about this homeless black dude being killed. And you shouldn't be upset, because black people die every day, B. What you doing worried about this white guy killing a black person? A black person was killed by a black person, so we should just kill, ninjas should just get killed. We should never question white people killing us because somewhere somebody black killed somebody. You know, white people kill white people all the time. You know what they don't like? White people don't like black people killing white people. Case in point, Karmelo Anthony. But it's just weird that when he's not giving that talk, he's not giving that conversation, like, look what I'm saying. Stephen A. is giving black people the conversation where, you know, black people, hey man, don't be a hypocrite. You let black people kill black people. He's actually saying that shit. This is why he thought he should run for office, because he's a bullshitter and full of shit. He's willing to compromise black people. That's what he's willing to do, and to talk out both sides of his mouth. So he thinks he would be a good politician because he could be full of shit really well that only But see, he doesn't know that everybody's dumb. Stephen A is saying, in this case, hey, black people, a black person was killed, but black people, calm down. Because black people get killed all the time, big. But when a white person is killed, Stephen A is like, black people, calm down. You killed the white person. This guy got to go away for 35 years. I wish it could be different, but it can't be. He's not saying that when it's Daniel Penny. He's saying, hey, it's a jury. They're going to say he a hero for killing us. Or me, y'all. So in this case, we get chastised either way. Stephen A is going to give us a talking to either way, whether we the victim or if we are the alleged perpetrator. And once again, I do not believe that Karmelo Anthony came there with the intentions of taking anyone's life. I just don't believe it. I know he killed someone. I don't think he murdered him. That's the difference.
We need to be consistent in how we hold folks accountable. You see, I think about the whole social justice movement. I think about the protests in the streets. I think about the number of unarmed black men that were killed by police officers.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? We talk about Daniel Penny and Jordan Neely. Totally different situation. Got nothing to do with BLM. He's going to bring up BLM. He's going to bring up Tyree Nichols. And somehow he's going to get to a place where it's all our fault. It's black people's fault. And see, this is why I had to check people. Had to check their ass. I'm tired of black people using them type of talking points about black people. Somehow, a black man gets killed on the subway by a Marine who I guess was trying to save the subway from the unarmed man who talked loud. Because you know how dangerous loud talking can be. Then he also lecturing us about Karmelo Anthony. When he felt attacked, when he felt threatened, and now he said, oh, but he shouldn't feel threatened. Daniel Penny grabbed Jordan Neely from behind and put him in the chokehold. Austin and Karmelo Anthony, say what you want to say about it, they were face to face. What Daniel Penny did was sneaky, underhanded, dirty shit. He couldn't have been in fear. He did a Rick Child. He shot somebody from behind. Daniel Penny grabbed somebody from behind and choked him to death. Never looked him in the eye. He choked him out. He never saw Daniel Penny. He may have never saw Daniel Penny's face. Stephen A has no problem with it. No problem whatsoever. I want to paint the poor picture. I know Stephen A will never respond to me. He will never have this conversation. He'll bring on Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum and insert name of conservative, black or white or whatever the shit, but he won't have a conversation about his politics. I'm glad Trump put a stop to that shit.
And how folks were in the streets protesting. And then I compare that to the number of times black folks have killed one another and we've said nothing.
Look at that. He says we've said nothing when black people get killed. How the fuck would you know what black people say when black people get killed? It doesn't get publicized. Just like when white people kill white people, it doesn't get publicized. You know, people can't complain about something they really don't know about. If a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it or see it fall, did it really fall? Like, people, how do you know what happened? And you know what happens when black people kill black people? Black people go to jail when they get caught. When white people kill black people, guess what happens? Most of the time they don't go to jail, but especially cops. That's the issue here. It's not like people who kill people, they get away with it if they get away with it, they get away with it if they're never caught. We're talking about cases where the killer got caught. Caught. And it's a trial, and it's on TV. This is what brings the activist, is awareness. He wants to make it, he's saying black people control the awareness. Motherfucker, I sat here 20 minutes from DC, 40 minutes from Baltimore, and I live here. And I didn't know about the BLM going on in Baltimore back with Freddie Gray until they busted a window. They had been protesting about Freddie Gray's murder, his killing by the Baltimore police officers for 3 days. Until they broke a window, it did not become national news, sir. Stephen A., you don't know shit. You know, there are a lot of sports people that get mad when people say stick to dribbling. I'm not going to say stick to dribbling, but take shit serious. Because either you are a super duper, super industrial strength, weapons grade coon, sellout, scumbag. Either that's the case or you're completely dysfunctional, out of your element, lazy, horrible at research, and insulting, don't give a fuck journalist. Pick one. You one of those. Because you're saying, just like we don't know all of the people that have been abducted this month and sold into sex. We don't know that unless it's publicized. How the hell will we know all of the tragedies that have befallen or have happened? You're saying that's not knowing means we don't care? How the hell do we know if unless it's reported? Let me keep going, guys. I'm getting hung up here. I got more show. Let me get to the Tyree Nichols. Oh, this guy gets really disrespectful.
I saw them, had him completely constrained, completely incapable of defending himself, and they beat the shit out of him. And they beat him worse than Rodney King was beat. And we know this for a fact because Rodney King lived. LAPD, 1992, remember that? Prior to OJ, remember that? They beat Rodney King so bad. I'm trying to figure out how could he still say, can we all just get along? I ain't getting along with people after that. But he said it, and that's a testament to him and the God in his life and in his spirit. I don't think I could have done it. Tyree Nichols never got that chance. Black police officers beat him to death. Gaff, I apologize. I may not remember. Do you remember protests? Do you remember violence in the streets after that? No. Jay, I'm sorry. I missed something. Did you remember violence in the streets after that? How about you, Ashley? Do you remember that? Sumatra, my personal assistant. She runs the show. Do you remember any protests in the streets after that? No. Tyree Nichols. You remember that? Memphis, Atlanta.
So Stephen A. is taken. First of all, I covered Tyree Nichols. I was livid. I covered it for many times, many days. I covered it. A lot of us covered it. It did not get a lot of publicity because the nation did not give it that much publicity because it didn't have the element of race. That's a media manipulation tactic. America makes money off race. America makes money off our pain and suffering, but it don't work when it's black on black because no white people give a shit. It's sort of like when I make posts on Facebook. Pretty much, when I'm shitting on Democrats, I get a whole bunch of white people that want to follow me. If I start saying, hey, I start sticking up for black people, all the white people leave because now they have no interest in me talking about black people's shit. Well, guess what? Most of the country are white people, and if there's something that happens to black people, white people don't care unless it involves them. A lot of black people are the same way. If there's a white crime, if there's a white on white violence somewhere, by the way, there was a group of a bunch of undercover people selling their kids for money in a white town somewhere. Like 20 people, 30 people got picked up. Perp walk today. Most black people don't know about the story. You know, black people involved. But if there were black kids involved in that, these are white people selling their kids in their animals. Real talk. And it's disgusting. I didn't even want to share it with you, but it just came out. But I'm not sharing the clip. I have a clip of them perp walking these people. But if it's not racially intertwined, then it doesn't grab the media attention because they figure it's not really an audience for this. 50 movies come out every month, but you only hear about 5 of them. That's because 5 of them have the budgets in the markets where they'll be picked up. Stephen A. is making that seem like, I don't know what the fuck they got to do with Daniel Penny, but somehow he's going to bring this all the way around and say, shut up about Daniel Penny. He a hero. And it's your fault. You stop being a hypocrite. You don't care about black people. You didn't care about Tyree Nichols. Though we did care about Tyree Nichols. And we did want them to go to jail. That sting, that Scorpion organization that had been operating as far as Memphis, I didn't know it existed until this. And not only went after the cops, I went after the police chief. The same thing in Baltimore. They had a lot of, Freddie Gray. There were black cops involved in Freddie Gray as well as white cops. And there was people pissed off about that. There was definitely an uprising about that, an uprising. See, Stephen A. says shit, dumb shit, that no one calls him out for, that he won't have conversations about. And then when people call him out, he plays victim. Like, what, me? What did I do? I'm just having a different opinion. No, you're full of shit. Let's keep going.
Tennessee, Philly, New York, Carolina, both North and South, Florida, LA, and remember that? Beat him to death. And the reason why I say black folks need to be careful is that at some moment, folks gonna say we ain't trying to hear that.
What about Daniel Penny?
Because y'all ain't say nothing when X, Y, and Z happened. What you talking now for? So just remember, as we monitor this whole Daniel Penny situation, an ex-Marine served his country, and somebody that, if for all intents and purposes at that moment on the train was minding his business until he saw somebody come in and appear to be dangerous because of the imagery of us and how it's perpetrated, by the way. Don't think they'll let the media off the hook with all of this. The point is that some would argue he took action and he's a hero. Because that's what some of them have been saying out there.
I don't give a fuck what some people
Others are saying otherwise. I'm just saying, let's make sure we're consistent in where we place our fervor and the reasons behind it.
Okay, here goes something, guys. How many white kids probably were killed by white kids since this story of Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf? I'm sure there had to be at least a couple, right? Why do you think this story got legs? You think it got legs because Karmelo? We gave it legs? Look, fam, we don't own the newspapers or the stations that are running the news about Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. Now that I think about it, wasn't it Megyn Kelly that broke this story? I don't think she broke it because she was so concerned about Austin as she was concerned. I mean, I don't think Megyn Kelly would cover that story, the Karmelo story, if it wasn't a Karmelo. If it was a white guy named Cody who killed Austin, and Austin was white, I don't think we hear about this story at all. I wonder if Stephen A. Smith would have a complaint to the white folks about that. Because I'm trying to tell you, that happens and they don't make national news. Do you think a white kid would have got 35 years for killing Austin? Why aren't you asking these compelling questions, Stephen A.? The same ones you're asking about Daniel Penny, like, oh, but black people. So Stephen A is saying we can't give a shit about Jordan Neely because we didn't care enough about Tyree Nichols? Interesting. I remember a lot of coverage for Tyree Nichols. I remember it being so bad people couldn't stomach watching it because it was so graphic. We don't have that in Tyree in the Daniel Penny. We didn't have that, and we damn sure don't have it now. And then Karmelo Anthony, we don't have that type of footage. Stephen A is full of shit. And I love it when he demonstrates it on a level where you can't look away, where it's evidence. I wanted to put together this demonstration. Because when he's talking about becoming a politician and running for president, and I laugh in his face, and I call him a hack because he is, I want it evident. Stephen A., as usual, you've been offered to come here, have a conversation with someone who's neither Democrat or Republican. But I will ask you to account for the shit you've said. This is not a softball jock show like All the Smoke or one of these other programs you go on. Would allow you to say dumb shit and let you get away with it. You will get checked on it. I know you're not going to respond. If you do, your people will say you're busy. You got other shit to do. I know you do. Because you come over here, I'm going to bust up all your lies. I will embarrass you. I will dog walk you. So stay over there with your bullshit, but the door's open if you want to come here and have a conversation. I just feel vindicated that you opened your mouth. You could have stayed shutting the fuck up and talking about the Knicks, but you decided to open your mouth just long enough to shit on that black young man who never been in trouble before. And not ask any relevant questions, any hard questions of that white kid and his family and why that jury didn't have no black people on it. You left all that shit out. You left out the witness testimony being totally opposite, damn near opposite from what it was at the day of the issue, of the incident. You left that out. All the relevant points, you left out the composition of the jury. And you just moved it on. Let's keep going, y'all. It's just too much. Too much.
Otherwise, somebody's going to come along and call us on our hypocrisy.
Should be done.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. I'd love for you to.
Back with more to close out the show in a minute. You're listening to Stephen A. Don't go anywhere.
That's why they got this guy.
Next up with Tim Black.
You now have BLM activists who are posting pictures pissing on the grave of Austin Metcalf. That's where we're at this point. And then you have black personalities online claiming that black parents need to have conversations with their black kids because of this guilty verdict, in the sense that they don't have a right to stand up for themselves. Yeah, it's that terrible. Let's start here.
Let this be a lesson to us, especially to teach our young black boys, because we have definitely to save them, to preserve them. We have to have them.
You know what? She's right. We do need to have a conversation. But I want to have a conversation about what we're seeing on social media from BLM activists. Just look at your screen. There's a new disturbing social media trend of BLM activists posting edited images of themselves urinating on Austin Metcalf's grave, as you guys can see. Let's have this conversation, Jamel Hill. Let's do it. Let's talk about this. Will you call this behavior out exactly? What about this behavior? Will you call that out too? Probably not, right? Because again, black people can do no wrong.
All right, folks. I had to come back to devoid of a soul darkens, widens. I had to come back to him because he's the whitest black man that I've seen in a while. It's important to have that conversation about this guy. He is the biggest hack. You know, initially I had no idea how bad he was. I just saw his set. I said, hey, that's a professional looking set. Look at that. That looks good. That's it. I never really paid attention to his content. I was on Shamichael Singleton's app for a while. Shamichael came on the show. He offered me to come on his app. I obliged. I wanted to do it. I thought it was interesting. I noticed DeVory was over there. I just saw his picture. I didn't know that DeVory was shit. DeVory's on the same apps. I'm on X. He's on X. This motherfucker's complaining about memes. Mean memes. A whole black man. And now, look, the internet says he's black. I don't know if he's black. A couple people was like, Tim, stop calling everybody black just because they look black. I don't know, man. Google him and it says he's black. AISAI, they say he's black. He look black. I don't know. DeVoy looks black. Look, this is the point. He did a segment complaining about people posting pictures, pissing on doctored pictures, not real. Listen, he posted a video complaining about pictures, pretend pictures, AI edited pictures of people peeing on Austin's grave, not really peeing on his grave. Do you realize that every birthday for Fred Hampton, on Fred Hampton's birthday, literal people go to his gravesite and literally shoot up his grave marker. We have literal hate groups that physically go and desecrate black grave sites. And I got this guy, this black man, calling out black people for pictures on the internet. And we're on X, and it has memes of, they have pictures of Carmelo Anthony being raped in prison already. No mention of that shit. But now he's appalled. He's beside himself. We have to talk about this. This is a travesty, what we're seeing. This is I can't believe the travesty of this. And we need to have a conversation about this because there's a white man in his grave is, not literally or technically being pissed on, but they're fantasizing it. They're creating pictures. These pictures are unconscionable. What a beta bullshit artist. What a beta this guy. I didn't know your wife was married to a trans woman. You're a trans woman. I hope. I'm about to get his pronouns wrong. Are you a guy? Are you a woman? What are you? Are you black? I don't know what you are. What you are is a hack. None of that matters. I take it all back. You're a hack. A pathetic hack, DeVory. You keep on making shit content. I appreciate you giving me lots of content. Eventually, my audience will care enough to watch this shit. I'm going to put this video out too. The last one did pretty well on Facebook. 75,000 views. Let's go for 100 this time. I want people to see just how horrible you are. Fam, I think Tariq Nasheed said this. There's an entire culture online of memes. You know who's really good at memes? The right. The Trump people. The MAGA are excellent at memes. They destroy the Democrats with memes. You cannot be right-wing and not know this shit. That there's an entire ecosystem of memes on the internet. This shit is everywhere. And this guy picks one meme and goes, oh, how horrible. Dog, there are memes there were memes of Obama, there's memes of Clinton, there's memes of there are videos of all time. Come on. Really? I'm going to leave this alone. I can't go much further. I just wanted to point out how soft he is, how pathetic he is. This is his audience. I almost feel bad for him. You have an audience that's accepting this shit. You know what people would do You know what my audience would do if I put out content complaining about pictures that aren't real? It must really been a slow news day for you. This shit is pathetic. You're pathetic, devoid. My name's Tim Black. Come have a look. We really need to talk about this. We need to talk about your lack of being a fucking person, human being. Where's your sense of humor? Where's your sense of humor? Where's your common sense, bro? Man, maybe it'd be different if they were literally urinating on his grave. But the fact you know it's a fake image and you still did this, I mean, I've made mistakes. Somebody sent me some shit. I remember there was one video I did. It was of a black preacher like asking for donations or some shit, and it was so funny. I was like, this is crazy. I covered it. Somebody was like, Tim, that's AI. I'm like, damn, I didn't know. And then there was one other one that was Kamala Harris was literally drunk or something, and I didn't know she was drunk because it looked kind of real. And they were like, oh, Tim, this is not real. And somebody complained. It was a black woman who complained because I wouldn't, she wanted me to go after Ari Spears. I wouldn't do it. So then she like tried to mess up. Yeah, it's a bunch of shit. Anyway, the point is this. I fell for AI shit before. So now I go through like verified sometime and I have the least bit of suspicion. I upload it to an image detector, or maybe I detect the video to make sure it's real, right? Fam, you know this shit is AI edited and you still did a segment on it? All right, I'm sorry. Let's keep going, fam. Some people thought he was okay. I just want to make sure you know he's not.
And so who cares about accountability on our side of things? We only have to hold white people accountable, right? I'm sure that's our mindset. And it's just unfortunate that they're planting.
Full of shit.
He said we got to hold him accountable on our side. What side is that? I'm sorry. What side is that you talk about? What you mean our side? Oh, nah. Stay over there. Stay over there, bruh. No. Don't come back over here. Stay your punk ass over there. I don't believe that that's an afro you got. I don't know what you got going on with your head. That Chia Pet bullshit. Look like a Boston fern on your fucking head that you painted black. I don't trust you. I don't think that you are truly, you not FBA. You are not FBA. You are not ADOS. You are no dose. All right, man, look. Tonight's show is brought to you by Saga Metals. They're traded on the stock exchange both here and in Canada. Give them big love and support. They support us. We support them. Check out this advertisement, and I'll be right back with more Tim Black Show right after this. Jesus Christ. Oh,
Karmelo went.
I'm sorry, I'm early. I'm sorry, I forgot. I switched my line up. I'm sorry, man. I switched the line up. We still good? Okay. Well, that's good. I wanted to get past one. We're going to do the commercial in a bit. Let me do this first, okay? Check this out. I know y'all can't wait for the commercial. I ran across this clip, and I thought it was so on point. He's saying shit I say. And once again, sometimes when I say it, people don't believe it because I'm saying it. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Some people don't want to believe it when it's coming out my black face. So let's see if the white guy can say it and then people will believe it. Because, you know, we are so biased. We're so biased that we can't be trusted. So let's see if the white man will back me up.
Anthony had been white, not only would he have not been convicted, there'd have never been charges. This is Old Texas Paul. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Well, I hope it's better. I really do. Whole thing was a goddamn tragedy, and it was started by the kid that died. But if Karmelo Anthony had been white and the other kid had been black, these same people that are calling Karmelo Anthony a murderer would be celebrating him all over social media as standing up. Yeah. Young man, 14-year-old man by the name of Carmack Belton was his last name. Was chased down in South Carolina. Chased. The guy had to chase him and shot him in the back. Guy that shot him was white. Belton was black. That jury said self-defense because he was white. The only reason Karmelo Anthony was convicted was because we are a broken, fucking, bigoted country, and Karmelo Anthony was black. Any other way you slice this, it would have been self-defense. We are that fucking broken.
Next up.
Man, look, he got a couple facts wrong. Rick Chow, you know what I'm saying? Rick Chow is obviously Chinese. So he got that one wrong about Cyrus Carmack Belton. But he's right, though. He's right on point about our country being jacked up all kinds of ways. And I appreciate, I'll take it any way I can get it. Somebody backing me up. Sometimes it helps when you got other people of other shades saying the same thing. And you know what? I'm not trying to convince white people of this shit. Nah, man, the white people that still rock with me believe me, this case has cost me a couple people that were hanging in there because they feel that Austin didn't deserve what he got. And like I said, I understand what you're saying. I wish he wouldn't have put his hands on this young man. Then this never would have happened. That's just what I believe. Don't put your hands on nobody. I don't think the intention was to kill him. But like I said, I'm glad this man said what he said. I don't know his name. Something about coffee, right? Not because I'm trying to convince white people, but there are black people that need to be convinced. And since they worship white people, obviously, maybe now that a white person said it, now they'll get the permission. They'll have the permission, the basic permission instructions to now believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because permission, what's the word for it? The adequate permission slip to actually believe their lying eyes, to believe their senses, to believe the arguments of what I'm saying. Now, because I have corroboration, corroborating evidence or corroborating witnesses or corroborating opinions from other commentators who don't look black. Because for some reason, they cannot accept black people saying shit. Yeah. They will, because they see, all they see is a black young man. There are black people that do this. I'm talking about black people. This is not about getting white people to see shit. If you white and you watch the Tim Black show, you already see this. You already know what I'm talking about. We don't agree on everything, but you do know that our justice system is shit. Maybe you live places where you know that racism exists and is live and well. It is what it is. It ain't your fault. It ain't my fault. It just is. And you're not delusional. You realize that. And you realize, given the same circumstances, if a bigger black kid was harassing a white kid and a white kid stabbed him one time and ran, you'd be like, white America be like, he had to do it. You scared him. And everybody be fine. I mean, damn it, fam. Damn it, fam. We all know that. The fact that I gotta have this white guy to convince black people is sad. But that's why I played it. I'm being honest. Because the white people that don't believe me, there's no way of convincing them. They'll never be convinced. They live in an alternative universe where they're the victims of racism. Because they were getting 80% of the jobs and now they're getting 74%. And now they're the victims of racism. Because Jesus Christ, that's 6%. You know what I'm saying? Like now they're, But no, I'll play this clip for black people to get it. Because those black people will not listen to another black person tell them a goddamn thing. They believe that Karmelo Anthony is a YN. They think he's a drill rapper. Drill rappers don't have 3.8s. Honor school. No rap sheet. No drug convictions. No, they don't have that. Like maybe one exists. I don't know of any. Most of the people that are involved in gangbanging and that type of lifestyle, their environments are shitty to begin with. That's what happens. Don't get me wrong. As Tupac says, rose can grow in the concrete sometimes. That's a beautiful thing. But I'm telling you, man, the environments help create people being in these situations. That's not what Karmelo is. And it's just a shame. I have brothers and sisters that don't see that at all. They just like white folks, they see the black skin and they just say, oh, people tired of us. They tired of us. What you mean us, motherfucker? I'm getting lost with the S part. I mean, they tired of y'all, the YNs. Everybody tired of them. White people have been tired of black people since black people got free, dumbass. You are a fucking moron. White people have been coming up with different ways to say black people bad since as soon as the black people got free, we became enemy number one. You dumb fuckhead. You didn't know that? You don't know that? Now it's called this. Now it's called black fatigue. Before black fatigue, it was black power, black something. There's always been something. There's always been some way to marginalize black people. And there's always dumb black people that go with it. And there's always been sellouts who try to benefit from it and ride the wave and stay out of harm's way and get what they can and lie to white people, or sometimes agree with white people because they really do agree, because they self-hating, and somebody black didn't pick them on the team, or somebody black took their lunch money, or whatever the fuck. Or they were raised in Germany and then they moved to America and then they had to be around black people and they never fit in and they always hated black people. And it's I know, man, it gets convoluted. This is the reality. This is what happens, fam. I've been telling you the truth. I'm just being sincere here. But damn it, I appreciate this guy. I do, I appreciate him. Because we need the word to get out. Even if he technically got some things wrong that I don't tend to get wrong in my shows. His accuracy, we overlook it because he's white. He's got a white hat on with a white shirt with a white face. He's got to be telling the truth. Tim Black's got a black hat and black shirt and black jacket and black face. And can't be telling the truth. Can't trust him. Yeah. All right, guys. Now, once again, let's see if we can. I think we're going to go to my advertisers. Tonight's show is brought to you by Saga Metals, trading on the stock exchange, fam. Our sponsor. Give them a look, give them a listen, give them a click. Here we go. Folks, thank you for being here. I'll see you on the other side. We'll be right back after this message.
Up with Tim Black.
Now, a few weeks ago, I mentioned Saga Metals on the channel, trading as SAGMF in the US and SAGA in Canada. This is a company that I mentioned several times on the channel before. I'm back to talk about them again a lot sooner than I expected. That's because some major things may be happening. A lot has happened in a short period of time. Major developments are unfolding, and it looks like they may have another home run. What they've done in the last 6 months may change the scale of the company. In less than 48 hours ago, they achieved 100% drill rate in all 57 holes, all ahead of time. And that's just the beginning. The company added $10 million to its bank account and put all that money into drilling entirely. This is adding fuel to an already accelerating program. You step back and look at what Saga has achieved in less than 6 months. The pace is hard to ignore. A 100% hit rate in all drilling at the Radar Project, an area being positioned as the largest titanium host in all of North America. A strategic titanium acquisition scooped from under $100 billion giant Rio Tinto, located in the same district as the largest titanium mine in the world. And just last month, the acquisition of the Wolverine project, that project sits along the coast of the same billion-dollar Voisey Bay discovery, one of the most significant mineral discoveries in history. When you step back and look at the momentum that's building, 2026 has already been highly active. And the second half is looking to be even more exciting. How can this all be achieved in such a short space of time? The reason is simple. America's supply chain depends on titanium. And that's why Washington has already committed $12 billion into Project Volt, alongside additional federal support aimed at securing domestic and allied supply. In less than 12 months, America has taken a series of critical major steps to secure mineral supply chains, including Executive Order 1421. In a major ministerial, it's bringing together 55 foreign ministers focused directly on critical minerals. As the U.S. and its allies move to secure the future, Saga Metals is positioning itself directly where the money, the mandates, and the momentum are flowing. They're exploring the exact minerals that sit at the foundation of advanced aerospace, next-generation weapon systems, and stealth technology, the unseen backbone of defense. And the reality is increasingly clear. North America needs what it currently does not have, and the direction of travel from Washington is becoming even more defined. Onshore it, secure it, fund it, and mine it. I'll leave you with this. One of the standout aspects of Saga Metals' achievements in the last 6 months is scooping another titanium project from under Rio Tinto, a company roughly 3,500 times larger by market value. This takes skill, patience, and execution. Look at the numbers, do the math. If you want to learn more about this critical mineral story, check the link in the description. A special thanks to Saga Metals for making today's video possible.
Catch Tim Black live on the most dangerous show in America, Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Don't miss out on the real. Stay dangerous.
He walked over here, he said I might need to take the box, and he grabbed it with one hand, and then he showed us the gun, which was right here.
Just one day after having a gun pulled on him and his little sister at their lemonade stand, 12-year-old David Byrne and these young entrepreneurs are going back to business at the very same spot where it happened. They're determined not to live in fear.
My sister, she put her hands up, and I just said, you could have it. But after that, I just was like a little annoyed because we were 12 and 11, and you shouldn't really do that.
It's outrageous that in such a good community that we can have something like this happen. I think we need some more presence around in order for this to never happen again.
Now the community is rallying behind the Byrnes, taking a stand against violence. Family friends Nicole and Jonathan Rollcole are mobilizing the lower-end lemonade stand to take back their streets.
I'm angry. I'm angry that this happened in this community that we love.
50% of the money raised will be donated to a local gun violence prevention group.
It's safe, it's fun. They literally do this every day. And this is one thing that happens. So of course it's awful, right? But we want them to know, like, we're not going to stop them playing on the streets. We're not going to stop them hanging out with the kids around.
A community now coming together to turn a negative moment into a sweet lesson, one cup of lemonade at a time.
This just shows awareness of like gun violence and that you shouldn't do this at this age or at all.
Next up.
Yeah. Okay, so let me give you an update on this story before I give you my commentary. The update is that no one was hurt. $50 was taken. Their cash box was taken by two kids, who one of them flashed a gun and they stole the money case, and ran away. So nobody was hurt, and the two children were captured. They've been taken into custody. One was 12, the other was 14 years old. And of course, this is not cool. This is not good. This is bad. It is never good to rob people. It is not good at all that they did this. It is disheartening if you live in that community and you got to witness that. Okay, bad thing. Bad thing. My thing is this, and this is the point why I put it in the broadcast. Because compared to some of the other news we cover, this is pretty lightweight. Here it is. Why do we know about this story? Why is this story popping up on the radar? Media manipulation. Fam, nothing happens on accident. Why would this story reach me at a national level? No one shot a gun. No one was shot. No one was critically wounded. No cops shot the kids. This, you know how many times a day someone gets robbed in America? You know how many times a day there's a theft of $50? They even raised $2,000 to replace the $50. It's like a feel-good story in this Boston neighborhood. I mean, I do know some things about Boston, about the difference and the wealth gap there is enormous, ginormous. We're talking about an insane gap in Boston. But be that as it may, hey, I'm not even going deep here. I'm not even going to talk about the Boston mayor who, when she was questioned about how much money they spent on the new immigrants that came in, she couldn't even give you the number. She said, we don't keep track. It's in the millions, but we don't know. But working class Boston and poor people in Boston it's been a fight for resources. So that I know. And there was recently, they went to the Boston mayor, I think her name is Wu. She went to the Capitol and met with, they had a congressional hearing where she was there, as well as Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, and back when Eric Adams was there, he was also there. Okay, so, but what got me about the story is that this story became a story that I knew about. And I said, what better opportunity to show people how diabolical our system is, how the media game is played, because I should not know this story. You should not know about this story. They're laying the groundwork. It's purposeful to lay the groundwork for something else. They want to highlight crime is out of control. The blacks are out of control, because these were 2 black kids in Boston. Look at them. I think they want us to focus on the fact a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old robbed some white kids. And they chose this story. And then the other point of it is the people that posted the story. I'm posting the story to you to make my point about the manipulation. But the newspaper picked it up. It's not just that it happened, it's that it was promoted. It's that to hit the radar, fam, I think sometimes our country is so big, we can't wrap our head around how big it is. We cannot wrap our head around the numbers of stories and incidents that occur on a daily basis. And I'm sure this didn't happen today. This probably happened a few days ago. But the number of issues that happen every day that don't make the news, that don't reach past their local newspaper, that aren't discussed. This got out of Boston onto the wires and then picked up. There's a reason behind it. There's a reason behind it. And we need to start recognizing that everything that we see is a reason for it. There's a motive behind it. And very rarely will that motive be for our best interest. They're laying the groundwork for something else. It's intentional. It's not just an occurrence. It's not lightning striking. It's us having to look and say, what are they trying to tell us? What's going on? What does this mean? And we need to be able to stop sometimes and look at it, because there is no reason why in a world, in a country where we have soldiers at war, we have poor people eating out of trash cans, we have people dying every day from overdoses and drive-bys and all other shit, that a story about three or four white kids on a corner in Boston who had their money box taken and got back. It was found, and the people found. Do you know how many children have gone missing this week? I don't know how many. I'm sure there have been some. I saw one story in Michigan where one man killed 5 family members. White guy. It didn't get as much push as this. It did not get as much of a push as this. Family, I believe, and this is just my theory. The reason why we know about this story is they want to push. They want to push the white victimhood situation. They want white people to feel like they're under attack. How better to represent that with a story of little white kids getting their money taken by the evil black kids. And just in case you were feeling a little upset or a little bothered, white people, because there are some white people that were like, why did Cyrus Belton, why'd they shoot that young man? There were some people that saw the Karmelo Anthony story. Maybe they were a little bit on the fence, like, I don't know. I think Austin and his brother Hunter, because they're always together, and the other guys, it was the other team's tent. Maybe the other team was going to kick his ass, because maybe you've been to a game or two. In opposing teams, if you're on their area, maybe that's it. We're seeing what's happening with the Knicks and the Spurs fans. What would happen if it was teammates? So maybe there are people that they need to get them to look at things differently. And how better to tap into that than to use race? I'm telling you, if there were white kids that took this money box from these white kids, this story never makes ink. This story doesn't become a story. You don't hear about it. I don't hear about it. I don't share it because it's not shared by the news wires. Then it's not picked up by CBS or NBC or ABC or whoever popped it up on my radar. None of that happens without somebody making a decision in Propagandaville that this is good for business, that this is good for the overall narrative that they're trying to spin. It's a theory. I'm not going to say it's a conspiracy theory, but it's damn sure a theory. Hit the like button if that make any sense or if that's crazy. Let me know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe they just wanted this story to rise up. Maybe his parents are big timers in Boston, or I don't know. Maybe his cousin Op. So my brain be working overtime sometimes. Let's keep going, man. I know, man. I'm tripping, right?
With Tim Black.
I'm a product of a Yoruba man and an Igbo woman coming together, and they didn't bring me up with all of that trauma and dysfunction and hatred. They brought me up in love. And this narrative around the silos that we inhabit as Black people, these Black British actors coming to take our roles, these, how African Americans feel like that. In the UK, a lot of the kids who bullied me were West Indian kids. So there was a West Indian, West African thing. And everything, in my opinion, that has kept Black people back from the ascent that we are worthy of has been this: Hutus, Tutsis, Igbos, Yorubas, Rwanda, Black Brits, African Americans. Ultimately, for me, we all want the same thing. Period. We all want to be front and center of our own lives, afforded the opportunity to scale and not fail.
Ooh, right on.
And if we link arms like Jewish people do, like Chinese people do.
Hell yeah.
Like if we do that rather than fixating on the fact that, yeah, we have a smaller piece of the pie, we do. And as a result, when a Black Brit gets that role, what we're talking about is these Black British actors coming to take our roles, these, how African Americans feel like that. In the UK, a lot of the kids who bullied me were West Indian kids. So there was a West Indian, West African thing. And everything, in my opinion, that has kept Black people back from the ascent that we are worthy of has been this: Hutus, Tutsis, Igbos, Yorubas, Rwanda, Black Brits, African Americans. Ultimately, for me, We all want the same thing.
Period.
We all want to be front and center of our own lives, afforded the opportunity to scale and not fail.
Ooh, right on.
And if we link arms like Jewish people do, like Chinese people do,
hell yeah.
like if we do that rather than fixating on the fact that, yeah, we have a smaller piece of the pie, we do. And as a result, when a black Brit gets that role, what we're talking about is not acting. We're not talking about the art of acting. We're talking about scarcity. We're talking about the fact that there's not much pie. So when someone gets it, it's like, you're now taking a piece that makes me feel like I can't access that piece.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that with white British actors in the Hollywood constellation, because the pie is vast.
So do you think like when Juski goes out there and he does that whole skit that's gone viral, it's funny.
Yeah.
Where he's the British guy, he goes out there. And does that kind of add fuel to the fire? Because I mean, it's a thing. You're starting to hear more and more of it.
Yeah.
And it's why we started 154. Like,
Yeah.
it's to bring all of it. It's one continent, 54 countries, but really it's bigger. It's one diaspora that's centered around who we are as people, but yet there's these micro fractures of, oh, but they're from the UK, or they're from, you know, they're immigrants from Africa.
Yeah. My thing is, I have adopted the stance of I have to let my work do the talking. There's many things in the world that I don't like, that I don't agree with, but my answer to that,
to the Juski
thing, is to start a streaming platform with an African American like Nate Parker, and for us to build something from a global perspective that is for African Americans, is for South Americans, it's for black people in the diaspora, it's for people on the continent, it's for all of us.
That look like
as
this.
we call it a tent, we call it an umbrella, we call it a table that we're inviting everyone to. I think it's funny, that skit. Do I think it's helpful? I don't think it's helpful, but my answer to it is to continue to collaborate, is to continue to demonstrate that actually, and it sounds corny, but we are way, way, way better and way, way, way more powerful together than we are apart. And I truly think so much of that mindset is born out of insecurity. You never see them coming after a Brit playing that kind of role when it's a failure. It's only when it's a success. If there's box office and if there's awards, then is the time where you go, oh, I want a piece of that. Well, let's collaborate.
Yeah. That was a long clip. I didn't know it was going to be that long, but I got to tell you, man, there's some glaring holes in what he was saying. Why can't people can't keep it real and just admit it? How many black Americans are going to Britain to get roles? How many black Americans are getting roles in African movies? How many black Americans are getting roles in movies in the UK? No, you're coming to America playing black American roles. So obviously, the people that are gonna say something about it are black Americans, because you're eating over here. If we were coming to Africa, and we were coming to the UK, and y'all had the cake, and we were taking your cake, you'd be saying shit too. Don't come at me with the bullshit. And Godfrey, this is what I'm talking about with Godfrey. Full of shit. Full of shit. Playing both sides as usual. This shit is so blatantly obvious. Man, family, if you're the one, if they're eating your pizza, yeah, it's all good when it's our pizza, goofball. If we all pitched in and we all get a slice. But if it's our pizza and it's only a certain amount of slices that are made for us here and you come take it, when you got your own pizza maker over there, of course we're going to be like, what the hell's going on? Lego my ego, asshole. Why is this got to be all deep and scientific? Why come it can't just be basic? Let it be basic. Let's just cut to the chase. He said they need to link arms. Oh, he said trauma and dysfunction. He wasn't raised in trauma and dysfunction. You was raised in what then? I don't know what that means. Is it trauma dysfunction? I was watching a show where there were, I think it was 24 chefs. I forget the number of chefs. Let's say it was 20 chefs. There were 6 people that looked black. And then when I got to watching this show, I realized only one of those people that looked black were actually Black American. Everyone else was British or African or Jamaican or something like that. And I forget the exact number, but at the end of the day, I think it was 5 and then only one was Black American. And that like bothered me because, I don't know, I felt cheated somehow. It's a cooking show. I know we have a lot of black chefs in America here that would like to get the opportunity. I don't remember there being 6 white Brits there. Now, you best believe that, and I gotta call bullshit again, because I believe that if white people were losing jobs to Brits, enough of that happened, they'd be complaining too. They'd be complaining too, because that's what they do. There's complaints going on now. You don't think they would complain if there was people from the UK or some white South Africans? Like, what are you talking about? Whoever it happens to, if it happens enough, there are going to be complaints about it. It's not just privy to Black American. It's not a particular dysfunction of Black America. It's not a lack of something that we're missing character-wise or developmentally. It's called human nature. It's called survival. It's called not controlling the means of the production and then being replaced by those who are not even in our general vicinity. He said, and it went back to the same shit. And this is what I'm talking about. You would think that someone like Godfrey is smart enough to call this out, but this is the part where this is why I say Godfrey could do something good here, like the Dominican joke on me. No, me no black. Me Dominican. Like that could be on point. And then he'll turn around and do some shit like this. He had to know better than to let this guy say that black British actors, no, he said black people, we could ascent if it wasn't, what's blocking our ascent is us. No, that's not what's blocking our ascent. Black Americans are not being blocked by Black Americans. We're being blocked by a system in America that has been keeping us blocked. We're not getting the venture capital investment that white businesses get. We're not getting the opportunity to serve in those positions that white folks get. It's been that way forever in this country, that we gotta scrape and crawl for whatever we get in this country. We're like 4%. Black men are 4% of male lawyers. Black women are 4% of female doctors. It's not just acting. It's not just the arts. It's in every sector. Okay? So we have an issue here of accessibility. Black people having access to these opportunities in America. It's not us being our own worst enemy. That's what you're saying, and Godfrey lets that go. The guy that would sit up here and recite all of the structural limitations and dysfunction of discrimination that are in our institutions any other time, and now all of a sudden he's gonna let this African guy come and say, we are worst enemy. We did this to ourselves. We could have sinned if only we get out of our way. Then he calls it insecurity. Then he says, we're only complaining when the positions or the acting roles are successful and they become big money makers. Yeah, duh, dumbass. Nobody wants to fight over a stinker. Nobody's, if you want to, who would complain? Like, who would want a job that's a horrible job? Who would want a job that's a failure? Nobody wants to be a part of a failing enterprise. Nobody wants to, that's stupid. Of course. Are you making any sense? I mean, how can you say, oh, they only care that the Brits did the job when the job becomes a success? The failures you don't care about. No shit. But actually, I think we would care about it. There's just less publicity and talk about a failing movie or sitcom because it failed, meaning short shelf life. But even failures pay bills. Hell, I heard that those holding contracts, people were eating off holding contracts of sitcoms that never even happened. I think Kevin Hart got one. I think Cat Williams got one. I think D-Ray got one. Like, the holding contracts used to be the shit. I think Corey Holcomb got one. So I beg to differ that you being really truthful here, that people only complain when it's an Oscar or Academy Award level, whatever. But come on, man. I think Boston, whatever, the Globe, whatever. Not Boston Globe. Golden Globe, when it's a Golden Globe level performance. Nah, box office smash. Nah, I mean, people got to pay to keep the lights on. And a job that pays is a good job. You never really know what's going to be a hit or a quitter until it's in the can anyway, right? Isn't that how it is? It's kind of hard to tell when you're shooting because you don't know how it's going to be edited. You don't know what's going to be on the cutting room floor. How was you fucking... Anyway, okay, so that's it. Last thing, he said Chinese people stick together and Jewish people stick together. They have the money to. They have the money. And for Chinese people, particularly, let me add this. Let me add this because Godfrey would not add this. There's something about the Chinese, and I think you should know this. It's different. Chinese people are from China. Africans are from Africa. The 154, they're from the 54 countries of Africa. Black people are from Detroit, D.C., New York, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Michigan. I'm sorry, Florida. Get what I'm saying? Just a little different. California, Mississippi, Alabama. All right, that's different. It's easier to stick together when you're from the same country. But diaspora is all across the fucking globe with no connective tissue, particularly for Black Americans. So you're kind of comparing apples to crabs. Apples to blue crabs is what you're doing. When you compare Chinese connective tissue and for the record, you don't know if all Chinese rock with all Chinese. If they're like the Indians or like people from India, they have a hellified caste system. So this idea that all these other groups just work together and play so nice. Now they have class as well that also divvies it up. But anyway, that's all I got. I just thought, that's why I tell people, man, I don't hate Godfrey. I don't hate anyone. But I have no hate for Godfrey. It's just that he seemed duplicitous. He seems like he on both sides of everything. He be Stephen A. Smithing it too much. He'll say what he think you want him to say in the moment. And this was a clinic of him doing that. Because everything I cited, most of it, I'm sure he already knew. He let it go, cuz it's showtime. We're almost done. This is the Tim Black Show. We do this Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. To become a member of the Tim Black Show, all you got to do is go to Patreon, Tim's Take Live. Go to timblacktv.com. You'll find me there. You can also join on Facebook or YouTube. Cut the cap, Godfrey, and other dude.
Next up, with Tim Black.
Developing news. Charges could come as early as today against a man accused of carrying out a deadly quadruple shooting at a home in Livonia.
Police say that the man killed both of his parents, his brother, and his brother's girlfriend. All 4 victims have now been identified. Their names are on your screen. 58-year-old Sterling Price, 53-year-old Holly Kimball, 22-year-old Tanner Pierce, and 21-year-old Nevaeh Finch.
No, they were all shot and killed at a home on Rensselaer Street near 7 Mile in Inkster Tuesday night. 7 News Detroit reporter Kiara Hay is following the police investigation and joins us live from Livonia. Kiara, what are neighbors and loved ones saying about this tragedy?
It's hard to grasp, Keenan and Alicia. We spoke to a neighbor yesterday who told us that he was at that home an hour before the shooting took place, helping the family put up their pool. He says the suspect was in the house and never came outside, so you can only imagine how he's feeling right now. We also spoke to a longtime friend of the mother who just says she can't believe an entire family is gone. Many of us feel that exact same way. Now, when a tragedy like this happens, there are so many questions, but the one many people want answers to is why. According to Livonia PD, motives are still being investigated, but they confirmed the suspect, whose name has not been released yet, had a contentious relationship with his parents. The son firing 12 to 15 shots using a semi-automatic rifle, killing his parents in a bedroom on the main floor, and also his brother Tanner and Tanner's girlfriend Nevaeh in the backyard. Nevaeh's aunt telling 7 News Detroit the young couple mostly lived together at Tanner's house.
Her whole world revolved around Tanner, and we loved her for that because she found somebody that was a good heart and treated her well.
She's praying that Holly went first so that she didn't know that her younger son was also killed, but I don't think that was the case from what I've heard.
Now, that was the mother, Holly Kimball's longtime friend who you just heard from. The mayor of Livonia calling for everyone to come together at this time of tragedy. In a statement, she says in part, quote, "I ask all Livonians to keep the victims, their loved ones, and everyone touched by these events in your hearts. And remember that healing happens best when a community stands united." Back out here live in front of the Livonia courthouse, we are expecting the suspect to be arraigned here later on this morning. And of course, our cameras will be inside of the courtroom. Live in Livonia, I'm Kiara Hay, 7 News Detroit this morning.
Just a tremendous tragedy for that community. We're thinking about everyone whose lives have been touched by it. Kiara, thank you.
Well, now,
Jesus Christ, guys, look, so, Jesus. I mean, I'm thinking why, but I'm also thinking, where's there's no live streams, no Zoom calls? We got to find out what's wrong with these white people. Why are they killing each other like this? I mean, come on, Johnson. I mean, Stephen A. Smith. I mean, you got to get on this. You got to cover this and talk about how if it was somebody black involved in this, that this would be national news. Why aren't white people upset? Why aren't they rioting about this? Why don't they care? This is a tragedy, fam. This guy killed everybody home. And I just happened to run across it on X. Not national news. Everybody's not talking about it. This type of shit happens all the time. But if you add in a racial dynamic, a racial component, and then we got some people saying, well, it's not racism. They didn't say the N-word at him. There's no reports that anyone said the N-word. Oh, okay. The witnesses didn't say he said it. How do you know if the N-word wasn't said? Just because a witness didn't tell you? So it can't be a racial component when it's a black person and a white person. Everybody keeps saying it's not racial. I'm trying to tell you that they use that in order to make it newsworthy. I mean, don't get it twisted. If it's my child and something happens at a track meet, I'm upset. Damn right. Damn right I'm upset. We've got a quadruple murder, a triple murder, and a suicide. Nothing. Zero, zilch. So, you know, the narratives they like to do for us, right? When it's black people, they say you don't care unless a white person does it. Why is it that no one's got the balls to say that about white people? Perfect example. Why is no one saying when it's white people, no one cares unless a black person does it? Where are the memes for this? And by the way, white guys corner the market on taking out their families. Little research I did. Like 70% of these types of killings, which involve a suicide, white men. Maybe that's why they don't talk about it a lot. Because white men run the news departments and white men are the primary suspects, so white people don't talk about it. I wouldn't think maybe that would have something to do with it. Maybe that'd be a reason why they don't want to talk about it. See, I'm saying that unless they can make more money off of it, they don't give a shit. But when it's black people, you try to say it's because we don't care about each other. Is it that white people don't care about each other, or is it that it's a money issue? I don't know. I would like to say money, but y'all don't play fair when it's us. America's been manipulating race on black people since day one. You can't sit there, blackie. You ninjas, sit over there, whites only. You can't have this job because you're black, ninja. Get out of here. You can't go to this school because this is for white people only. Get out of here, ninja. You're not going to get this home loan. We're not going to finance you because you are black, ninja. Get out of here. No, ninja, you cannot have this position. You cannot get this raise. You're getting fired first because you are black. Bye, ninja. And then when we say, hey, man, this is racial related, you go, there you go, bringing up race. Why are you making race an issue? You with the racial stuff. Who's been bringing up? Who said anything about race? That's America in a nutshell. That's what we deal with. That's what it is. A country with all those hang-ups on race, making race an issue for 400 years, turns to black people and says, why are you bringing up race? Family, look, here's the deal. All right, so I got a newsletter that I'm putting out every week. I've been doing this for a minute. Get the Tim Black Show official newsletter. All you got to do to get it is go to timblacktv.com. You'll see my contact form. In the subject, put newsletter. Get my weekly updates, free giveaways, and digital downloads. Go to timblacktv.com and contact. You'll see the tab for contact. There's a form. Put your name in the form, your email address, I should say. Your email address, fill out the form, put your email address, and that gives me permission to send you the form or send you the newsletter, and I will do that. All right, guys, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, man. I know it's Friday. I know you got other stuff that you did or didn't do. Some of you are probably drunk. Some of you probably fell asleep, but I love you for being here anyway. It counts as a view, and I'll take it. Look, we do this Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10 p.m. It was late. Forgive me. I got nothing but love for you. Let's keep the momentum going. We're doing really well. Shout out to the 4 million people that I met this month so far on Facebook. Facebook's crazy. Shout out to Facebook. Honorable mention for the 3 million on X. YouTube be slumming, man. I'm at like 700,000, 800,000 on YouTube this month. Really bringing up the rear, YouTube. What's wrong with you? But look, I want to thank you all for a pretty hot month this month, man. Thank you. Yeah. It's good to know. It's good to know the hard work is paying off, man. So thank y'all for being a part of it. Please continue to share the show with your friends and family. I'll try not to embarrass you. I'll try to bring the goods each time out. Thank you. Look, it's been a great week. Have a great, safe weekend. stay cool, all right? Stay cool, fam. Now remember, if we plan to get ahead, we're going to have to stay courageous. We have to stay bold, stay courageous, but most of all, stay dangerous. And what makes us dangerous is we don't follow into these political party traps. No, we don't. We ain't falling for the Democrats or the Republicans. We're people first, policy first. All right? So let's stay there. You know what's bad is some people, I think they want out of the matrix. They want to get away from the nonsense, but something keeps them tethered to it. Fam, just let go. They don't mean you're no good. And we need you with us, the people. All right, family, got nothing but love for you. Now, look, don't let nobody take your cornbread. We'll be back Monday with new content. Well, a new show Monday. New content going on the channel tomorrow morning. You best believe I don't sleep. Well, I rarely sleep. I'm addicted to, committed to this business of standing up for us. Nothing but love for you. One of the reasons why I do what I do is because of my daughter, Naomi. I love you, Naomi. You are amazing. And big things are on the horizon for you. With that, let's run it. Where are my ladies? I said, where are my ladies?
Now, there you go.
There you go.